Okay, welcome everyone to the live streaming of INBETWEEN dito po sa Facebook Live and on our YouTube channel syempre sa YouTube. Ngayon po ay March 24, 2021, Wednesday. Okay, nasa season 1 pa rin tayo ng ating programa na INBETWEEN, episode 12, kung saan po yung mga top tech personalities ay INBETWEEN, TechSabado and Newsbytes.PH. Siyempre, kasama natin sa INBETWEEN at saka sa TechSabado, walang iba kundi si Attorney
Melvin Kalimag po ng News. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Akala ko ano yun.
Ako nadali ulit.
Nadao nga. Lagi na lang tayo na ano niya. Okay, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And it's in between. It's Wednesday once again. Ang bilis.
Oo nga.
And we're, halos tapos na yung first quarter of the year. Di ba?
Oo, tama. First quarter, tapos na. Na lang, less than 2 weeks. No?
Correct.
Or less than a week. Tama, a week na lang pala. 31 na next week.
Pero wala pa masyadong kababalagan nangyayari. Pero unlike last year na at this time, nagka-lockdown, tapos nagkaroon na ng eruption ng January. Pero ngayon, parang mas mahirap dahil parang back to square one.
6,666.
66.
Parang Signos.
Oo nga. Para may pinapahawatig.
Yes, yun na yung doon. Yun ang ibig sabihin doon. Pero ganun pa man, dahil kailangan natin magkaroon ng programa, kailangan tuloy-tuloy ang ating ang pamumuhay.
At ngayon ay Women's Month pa rin?
Yes. Meron pa rin tayong guest na Ito, bigatin to. Melvin. Grabe. Sige. Pasok na natin para mahaba yung story natin. Ang haba rin kasi ng pigsamahan natin with this person.
Oo. Hindi, banggitin ko lang muna yung mga...
sige. Sino yung mga nandyan? Sige.
Medyo kilala nito yung nila, yung kilala nila yung guest natin, kaya naging hello sila. Si Jo Marie Mercado, formerly from IBM, Microsoft, IBPAP, Convergys. Ayan, kaibigan natin yan si Joms. Si Yves Gonzalez na dating taga-MMDA, tapos nag-Uber. Ngayon ay public policy head ng Google, is also watching. Hello from Taguig daw, sabi ni Attorney Yves. Abogado to.
Yves, oo.
Dati rin tong Yves ba Yves?
Yves Gonzalez.
Hindi Yves.
Not sure, pero tawag namin sa kanya kasi nakasama namin niya sa interaction nung sa MMDA siya. Sa MMDA siya, tinulungan kami doon sa remember doon sa traffic navigation
app.
App ng TV5 ng interaction.
Ayun, pero rin yung artista rin dati yan.
Yves.
Si Attorney Yves. That's Entertainment yata eh. Yan, si Mel. Totoo. Si Mel Dominguez. Of course, si Alex Fuentes watching from the City of Smiles, Bacolod City. Ayan. Tapos, of course, kasama rin natin si RJ Espinosa from the beautiful city of Davao in the south. Ayan.
Aga nila mag-react ka.
Si Alex Fuentes. Yeah. Of course, si Marvin Wenke, kasama natin din. Yan, nanonood din siya. Okay. Sige, Jing. Introduce mo na ang ating guest for tonight.
Oo, matagal na nga natin nakasama to. Siyempre, Teka, nagkakagulo ako sa sa mga control ng aking laptop. Pero anyway, nabitin din yung pag-introduce kanina, pero ngayon itutuloy na natin. Siyempre, we're honored na nandito siya sa atin, tinanggap ang ating invitation dahil matagal na rin natin siyang kaibigan sa IT industry. Siyempre,
parang ito yung first niya, parang full-scale media interview niya,
ganun pa.
Think lang.
Baka matakot mabigla sa atin yan.
Hindi, tayo ngayon? Lang tayo? Light-hearted. Chill lang. Chillax lang.
Yes, chillax. Okay, ito na po. Ngayong gabi kasama natin walang iba ang country director ng isa sa pinaka-paboritong kumpanya ng marami sa internet. Walang iba si Bernadette Nacario ng Google Philippines. Good
Hello,
evening, good
Jing.
evening.
Good evening. Hello, Jing. Hello, Melvin. Happy to be here. I'm the one honored to be here. So thank you for inviting me. And yes, you're right. Tagal na pinagsamahan natin. So happy to see you both. Nare-reminisce ko yung younger years natin sa IT.
Oh, may buhok pa ako nun.
Ako, puti na yung buhok ko eh. Di mo si Deto, hindi nagbago. Since
nga.
Diba?
Parang hindi nagbago.
Hindi nagbago
The same.
Si attorney, nakalbo. Ako, namuti.
Si Jing, may six-pack pa nun, no? Jing?
Ngayon, barrel na.
Ngayon, one pack
one
na lang.
pack na lang. Ayun.
Mga stress party natin.
Yes. Oo. Ang saya-saya nun.
But this is not about us, Jing.
Yes.
About Bernadette Nacario. So, kasi nga, this show is meant to, to give space, to highlight, to give the spotlight to our IT executives, lalo na women executives for this month of March. Kaya we're very grateful to Det for allowing us, for accepting our invitation to be our guest for tonight.
To be in between TechSabado and Newsbytes.PH.
Yes. Okay, Det. Alam ko, matagal ka na sa industry. Okay, yes.
Sorry, let me also congratulate you kasi pinapanood ko tong show nyo. It's a very good show, very informative. So
Thank you. Yes.
Det, alam namin, napakatagal mo na sa local IT industry. Nasa Computer Times pa lang ako, nababasa na kita. Sinusulat ka na. Nung mga kaibigan ko, sila Erwin Oliva, sila Joel Pinaro, sila Prudence Orani. Ayun, si Jing naman nasa Manila Standard noon. Pero bago pa natin pag-usapan yung career, let's go back a little earlier dun sa buhay mo.
In your IT career.
Ano ba yung naging buhay mo, educational background mo, and how did you become part of the local IT industry?
Okay, so I actually, ang course ko talaga is Bachelor in Accountancy. So medyo malayo siya well, not really malayo, pero it's not really my field. I'm not an engineering graduate, no. But I had an opportunity to work in one of the local IT distributors. Back then, it was still a local IT company. Now it's MSI International, MSI ECS. You're familiar with MSI ECS?
Yes, kay Mr. Jimmy Go.
Tama. So that's
VST ECS na siya ngayon.
ECS na siya ngayon. So it's not anymore
VST ECS.
Tama. So hindi na siya a local company lang. So it's a regional IT distributor, no.
Yeah.
So back
yung office
then,
nila sa ano pa lang noon, sa may Libis.
No, back then hindi pa. Nako, actually Melvin, yung pagkakasabi mo kanina, ang tagal-tagal na, feeling ko tuloy ang tanda ko na. That's just joking. No.
Lahat tayo matanda na.
Oo nga, kidding aside, so yung office ni MSI nasa Makati pa sila. Starting lang nung operation nila.
Hindi ko inabot yun, no?
When I joined that company, kasi nga Bachelor in Accountancy. So I joined as an accounting assistant. And then, pero siguro, the owner, my boss back then, nakita niya yung interest ko sa marketing, sa product management. And then he decided to start a new business unit, yung marketing group nga niya, plus channels team. And so he asked me if I'll be interested to jump into a different role. And I accepted it. So that started it all. Doon ako nagsimula na nagkaroon na ng interest into product management. And then now, kasi kung accounting pa rin yung ipupursue ko during that time, syempre iba yung involvement ko sa business eh. So from then on, I met a lot of...
Pero you were hired for what position?
For accounting assistant. Would you believe?
Okay.
So nag-shift ako ng role from being an accounting assistant into marketing. And it was an invitation from the owner kasi nakitaan, as far as I know, nakitaan niya ako ng interest sa product management. And that's why he asked me, when he started that new business unit, sabi niya, that interested ka ba to start this group? And so I said yes. So yun, that started it all. So from then on, I met a lot of IT partners. Doon ako nagsimula na-involve sa distribution business. I stayed there for about 7 years. So yun
Sa
talaga
MSI?
yung sa MSI, oo.
Okay. Wow, that's a long time. 7 years. Can you remember which year?
Oh, hindi ko na matandaan. Parang mga ikaw Melvin na. Siguro mga nasa ano yan?
90s.
Mga 90s, yes, that's correct.
Mid-90s.
Mga early 90s.
O kasi yung MSI ECS celebrated their 25th anniversary just a couple of, parang 2 years ago eh.
Oo, recently lang eh.
Di ba?
90s din nga talaga.
Back then, it was not MSI ECS yet.
So
hindi pa.
It
was MSI, Microcircuit Systems International.
Oo.
That's MSI. Microcircuits, yun yung group nito before.
Oo. Tatanda ko pa, Jing, dati nun, merong, ano yun, yung si Paolo Bidjones, merong parang, siya yung model nung PC na, ano eh.
Hindi na malala yun.
Oo, yun ang ano ng MSI nun eh. So, anyway, you were there for 7 years, and then after that, you went to which company that?
So, nagkaroon ako ng invitation to move to, during the time, Siemens. So, sa
Siemens, yes.
So, the German company.
Yeah.
Ang German company, you're right. Ang reason naman nun, kasi, because I'm already in the marketing group, no? So, ang dami ko nang kilala na mga retail partners, IT partners, and because I'm managing products as well, so yung expertise ko back then is really in the PC business. So when Siemens naman started their operation in the Philippines for the PC business, it used to be Siemens Nixdorf eh. So naghanap sila ng person who will be managing that business. So yun naman, kaya ako napunta sa kanila. I stayed there for about, I think mga 4 to 5 years.
Tagal din, no?
Tagal din.
Tingin ko sa dulo nito, i-compute na natin yung number of years and then you can compute my age.
Wala, bawal dito yun. Walang compute ng age. Walang magko-compute ng age.
7,
Experience,
4, 11.
experience ang i-compute nyo. Experience.
Yes.
Yeah, so
this is Siemens Nixdorf.
Oh,
Siemens lang.
That's correct, yes.
But ano yung kakaiba ng Siemens sa Nixdorf?
As yung Siemens Nixdorf is dedicated to distribute IT products. Kasi yung power, di ba, ang daming products.
Yes. Malaki yun eh.
Malaki yan.
Malaking German company.
So we are part of the subsidiary of Siemens. So it's a German company. Tapos from there, ayun, dito na.
Pero di ba yung Siemens during that time nag-distribute din ng mga phones?
Mobile phones. Early 2000s, di ba meron?
Pero nung time na yun, yung Siemens Nixdorf nandun pa siya sa PC business.
Kasi enterprise
That's correct.
Mostly enterprise.
When I joined that company, I really started it from zero. Wala kasi talaga pa siyang PC division here in the Philippines. So I started it from creating the policies, the distribution, yung infrastructure niya. So I really started that. I started hiring people as well. Wala pang partners, so I appointed distributors, I appointed resellers. And then, of course, actually one of my milestones, if I think of that, back then, alam mo, from zero, wala pa talagang pangalan yung brand, di ba? Parang it's known in Germany, but not in the Philippines.
Not here.
Pero I'm very proud, after we launched it, nag-land kami kaagad sa number 6. So,
wow.
It's an important milestone kasi the period of 1 year yet.
So that was the highlight of your stint at Siemens Nixdorf.
Siemens, yes.
Growing the company from 0 employees to how many?
During that time, siguro kasi yung Siemens Nixdorf, lumaki na rin siya ha. So yung business is the one that I manage. I think we were about, parang mga 4 yata kami nung later on. Pero yung operation mismo ng Siemens Nixdorf, I think we reached almost 100
wow.
people.
That's a lot of people.
Although
for local company.
Hindi pa ako yung I'm not the country head. I'm the country head for the PC business, but not for the entire Siemens Nixdorf operation. It's for the PC business.
Nagbangapot ba kayo ni Ellen Alarilla doon? The wife of Joey Alarilla?
magkakilala kami ni Ellen pero parang hindi kami nag-abot sa Siemens.
Oo.
Pero
O baka ibang unit siya, no?
Baka ay sa Siemens yata siya, not Nixdorf.
Oh, okay. Siemens talaga, not Nixdorf. Okay. Okay, after Siemens Nixdorf, saan na yung next destination mo, Det?
To HP.
HP.
So
okay. Okay.
Yes.
That was what year?
Hindi pa hindi pa nag-merge ang HP and Compaq noong time na yon.
Hindi pa siya nag-merge. Hindi pa. HP pa talaga siya.
HP pa siya talaga. Yun yung time na kasi para magkaroon ng perspective yung mga tao. Yun yung time na magkakalaban pa ang IBM sa PC business, yung Siemens, Nixdorf, tapos Compaq, HP, yung pa siguro Windows 95 pa lang yata noong time na yun.
Tama. Hindi pa siya nag-merge. HP pa lang talaga siya. So during the time, I was asked to lead naman to head the corporate sales group. So coming from product management, marketing, and then yung PC business nga, it's like a country business management role. And then when I was invited by HP, it's more to manage the corporate sales group. So it's more of a sales organization. So ano rin yan?
Mostly servers?
No, combination of PCs at saka servers. But not servers. Yung ano ba tawag dito? May tawag pa tayo sa servers. So, kasi di ba dalawang klase yung servers?
Mainframe? Mainframe pa ba? Hindi na. IBM nga.
Nag-join din ako ng IBM. So yun.
What was your highlight? Yeah, sorry. Go.
So corporate sales, I started as a corporate sales manager. And then later on, I was asked to move to marketing also. So nag-lead ako ng marketing, mga product managers nag-report din sa akin during the time. Stayed there for about, if I'm not mistaken, 3 years yata. Ako din pala nag-volunteer yung number of years, no? And then...
Sandali, Det. Nag-comment dito si Wawi Wang. Sabi niya, that was my hiring boss in HP. Wow. You hired Wawi. Wow.
Yes. Wawi Wang.
Tagal natin nakasama to si Wawi sa lahat ng mga senior JJ, no?
Oo, totoo yan. Nakikita mo yung mga yung mga nanonood sa atin, mga nakikinig natin, mga rin natin, kasama din natin sa IT.
Hi, Wabi. Ano yan? Ito yan sa mga best presenters, one of the best product managers of HP.
After ng presentation, kakantahan ka
dyan.
Dating kundirana kasi yun sa Lasal Green Hills. Tapos magaling din dyan sa underwater photography. Suwawi.
Yeah.
Oo. Tapos si May Parbo, of course. Ito, colleague din ni Detto sa IBM, which later tatalungin natin. And si Ana Marquez, hello Det, sabi niya. And Ina MC, hello Det, looking good and stay safe. Sino si Ina?
Ina is from IBM.
IBM as well, okay. Yan.
Hello Ina.
That was a darling client when we were handling HP, sabi ni Mel. Ayun.
Wow.
Thank you.
That does not age. She looks the same. That does not age.
Yun nga sinabi ko eh.
Yung nga sinabi namin, inulit mo lang, Mel eh.
May lang ako, may ring light.
May ring light. Ako rin meron eh.
So that, what was your parang highlight, the highlight of your career in HP?
Naku, madami yan. Actually, I should mention, kasi yung HP ko, twice akong bumalik. At twice ako sa HP. So what we're talking about now was the first time I went.
Yes.
That was the first thing. So during that time, as I've said, marketing plus corporate sales, actually, I'm one of the author, actually. I started the rules of engagement. So how we deal with clients, how we deal with partners. Kasi during that time, ang daming IT resellers who wants to work with HP. And sometimes when they represent the company in front of the customer, agawan yan. So, and that's not so healthy. So what we did is we made sure that we have a very robust rules of engagement. So one of the things yun talagang legacy rin na naiwan, and I know up to this time they're still using that.
The HP way. The depth way.
Oh, di totoo naman eh. May corporate sila principles, belief, vision, di ba? Yung the HP way.
The HP way.
Yeah. Alam ni Wawi yan.
Yes. Oo nga eh. Tumatawa nga si Wawi. Ha ha ha. Nag-comment siya nga. Ha ha. Ayan. So, okay. And after your first stint in HP, you went to IBM, right?
I went to IBM. You're right.
So Big Blue. Where you handled what?
Marketing.
Marketing din, yes.
Ako yung country marketing head ng IBM during the time. So, kaya ako nakilala sila Ina and they were saying hi. So, yun. Big Blue naman, no? So, it's so different. But of course, it covers all the, kasi marketing siya, so it represents the different products of IBM. So may PCs, merong servers, may software kami, so medyo broad din yan. But it's all about marketing, so wala akong sales function. When I was in HP, prior to being the head of marketing, I was with sales. So parang sanay na sanay talaga ako dun sa customer engagement. But when I joined IBM, this is more, because marketing there is really more about creating plans, marketing activities, events. So iba naman yung game, iba yung play niya. But during the time, one of the things that I am so proud of is yung time na in-integrate namin yung dalawang users group ng IBM. So it was during my time with the team that we integrated it. So ngayon it's called, as far as I know, IT-IP. Kasi dati dalawa yung users group ni IBM. So what we did is we combined it. And it became a big user group.
During the time, parang I remember the country manager was Mark Hamill, tama ba?
Yes, correct.
Oh.
Yes, so.
Yeah.
Kasi, yes, and I remember, Jing, sabay nun, yung walang tigil yung press con ng IBM, so sobrang dami ng produkto nila.
Daming may Lotus pa nun eh.
Panahon ni Richard yan eh, Richard Burgos eh.
Burgos, push pa nila yung Lotus nung time na yun, kaya ang daming press con nun eh.
Sila Ferdy, Makatangay, sila Laren Panganiban, yung mga yan, di ba sa Lotus? Si Vic Silvino.
Di ba? Yeah.
Di ba? Ayan. Next, people, sila Chestnut Andaya, sila mga IBM people, Ngayon, nagkalat na rin.
Nagkalat na. Ang dami sa kanila naging country manager eh. Siyempre, kasama na rin si Det. Yes.
Sila Liel Aroni, Latinazo, di ba? Sila Nilo Cruz.
Yes, si Nilo.
Marami eh, di ba? Kasi during that time, malaki rin naman talaga ang IBM eh.
Daming produkto. Si Det is one of them.
Maganda na IBM. Maganda talaga. Actually, naman ng companies that I've been part of, I can proudly say na the kind of leader that I am right now, I owe it to all these companies I've been part of. Yeah.
Ganda. Yes.
Parang accumulation of experiences from one, dun sa mga lahat ng mga
That's true.
What was your highlight naman, career highlight sa IBM?
Yes, sabi ko nga meron, yung users group, the fact
Ay, nga pala,
By the way, yung setup kasi namin nun sa IBM, the different marketing managers, they are part of the business unit. So dotted line sila sa akin. But the good thing is really work harmoniously as it's one solid marketing team. And then of course, the integrated marketing communications group, it's part of my team. So malaking group din yan. Malaking group din yung time na yan. And then we had a number of activities, even yung Tom Peters na big event, it's a C-level event. I think we were able to gather the big names in the country. So, and that was the time that we launched e-business. Natatandaan ko pa pala.
Yes, yes. I remember that.
Right now, kasi parang yan na yung ngayon, ito na yung going into cloud eh. Pero back then, it was still called e-business.
E-business.
So we launched that during the time.
Yeah. Hi daw, sabi ni Christina Nacario. How is she related to you?
Christina
she's my aunt. she's my ninang. She's my aunt and she's yes. So,
she's your aunt.
She's my aunt. Yeah.
Okay.
Ang cute naman ng show nyo, nakakatuwa. Very interactive.
Interactive, no?
Kasi mga audience, we let them join the conversation para mas masaya. Kasi Wawi mo, tatawa-tawa eh. Next ka rito, kala mo ba?
Yeah. And after after your
Exciting.
IBM stint, nag-return of the
Ito na.
comeback ka sa HP,
Sa
tama ba?
HP.
Oo. Ito, maganda to kasi ito Ito yung part ng career ko na I have to make a decision. So when I joined IBM, I was the head of marketing. It's called Country Marketing Manager. So yun yung title, CMM here. And then, so parang mga 3 years yata ako sa IBM, I got a call from one company inviting me to head the organization. No? Another tech, hindi ko na babanggitin kasi hindi naman ako natuloy. No? Another tech company wanting me to become the country general manager. So back then, hindi ako ready. Hindi yun yung inclination ko. Wala akong plan to become PM. Kasi parang sa akin, masaya na ako that I'm a manager. I don't want to complicate my life. Alam mo yung ganung mindset. No? So I said no. And then after siguro mga 6 months, tsaka happy naman ako sa IBM. And then after several months, si HP naman tumawag na parang that you may want to come back and rejoin. There's an opening up for the country manager role. So, yung una, inisip ko kasi parang dalawa na di ba? Merong first, tapos yung una na tinanggihan ko, and then yung second one. And then I asked myself, am I doing the right thing that there's this opportunity to lead an organization and then I'm gonna say no again? What if the time comes in the future na when I look back and then I'll realize I had an opportunity to lead an organization, become a positive influence, tapos hindi ko binigyan ng chance yung sarili ko. So noong time niya, parang inopen ko. And then I gave myself, I'll just try this for 2 years. Yun yung sabi ko, I'll just try it for 2 years. And so I decided because it's HP and I came from that company na. So nag-decide ako na bumalik ako. And I had a good exit naman sa IBM. It was a good conversation. And that was the start of the opportunity for me to lead an organization. I mean, become the country head. Kasi yung mga previous na work ko, more of like heading a business unit, pero yon naging country head ako. Although, kasi during the time, di ba, meron namang managing director din ng HP. But the key and printer business is about 70% of the total business of HP. So we're part of the leadership team. So yun yung first country general manager role ko when I came back to HP. So
nag-merge na yung compact yung HP by the time, no? Yes. So ang laki na ng PC business ng HP nung time na yun. I remember that time talagang ang laki talaga ng HP yung time na yun na IBM talagang sila head-on sila with locking horns with IBM sila nung mga mid-2000s eh. At sila yung nagpapadala sa atin sa Synergy.
Yan yung kung nare-recall nyo pa, there was a time na nagkaroon ng very big trade-in, trade-up in Mega Mall. That was one of our projects.
Pumila rin ako ron. Yung printer. Talaga.
Grabe yun. Nandun din yata ako.
Oo. Sila Mel pa PR noon. So talagang bit yung printer. Nakapila ako sa Mega Mall.
I remember nagreklamo pa nga sa amin kasi talagang nag-mountain na yung mga printers na trade in, di ba? So it was a very successful event.
Yes.
One day, parang it's a big volume of printers that we were able to sell. It's a very successful. Yeah, isa yan sa mga important highlights din ng career ko sa HP when I returned. Pero marami yun kasi when I returned, medyo matagal din ako. Parang mga 6 years yata ulit yun eh.
So yung 2 years, naging 6. Yung 2 years mo.
Yung first 2, tapos another 6 ulit. First 3 yung first thing, and then when I came back, it's about 6 years. Yeah.
So a total of 9 years?
A total of 9 years in HP.
Wow. Almost a decade. Oh. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. And it's another very good company also. A lot of people. Yeah, the culture is also very good, like IBM and like the rest of the other companies.
Okay. And after HP, where did you go next?
I moved to Microsoft.
As what?
Tama, Microsoft nga pala. Yes.
So as the SMSP director, so the small and medium business director. So yung group naman na yon is combination of corporate sales, tapos yung SMB business namin, and then channels management. So it's another big group in Microsoft. it's a different learning. So why did I move to Microsoft from HP?
From hardware to software.
Hardware to software, exactly. You got it, Jane. Kasi yung experience ko for so many years, it's all about hardware. Pero yun yung time na it's an opportunity for me to learn software. Kaya sabi ko, this is a good ano. Ganun kasi ako when I make decisions in my career, I always think, parang for me, a logical decision is either, what kind of learning will I get if I move to this company? Kasi at the end of the day, it's all about the learning, di ba? Parang yun yung bubuo sa leader. So nung time na yun yung nakita ko na parang opportunity for me to learn something new. It's getting into the software business.
Wow. What was the highlight naman, Dev?
Yan. Ano yan? Kasi very strong din yung aming channels operation in Microsoft. So, we strengthened meron kaming group nalimutan ko na yung tawag ng group namin wherein we bring all the partners. It's like an advisory council and we provided all the necessary trainings. But it's a very important group within Microsoft kasi very partner-driven din siya. So yun yung mga important milestones namin. Plus, we did also the partner rationalization during the time. So marami rin siyang mga decisions that we have to make. Sometimes it can be painful, but it was pretty good naman in the end. So,
and then sa Microsoft, sinong country manager nandun ka din?
Si John Bessie.
Si John
Bessie. John Bessie. The Australian ba yun? New Zealander yata yun.
Oo.
He's from New Zealand.
Oo.
Mga na to mga early 2010s na to, di ba? Mga ganun? Or after?
Yes.
Medyo nahirapan tayong intindihin yung si John Bessie kasi medyo yung pagkasalita niya, yung accent niya, ang heavy yung niya yung pagka-slang niya.
Naalala ko na si John Bessie. Yes.
Pero guwaping yun di ba? Si John Bessie.
Very good people manager din yan.
People manager.
Correct. Yan. And after that...
Gano'ng katagal sa Microsoft?
Yeah.
Siguro sa Microsoft, parang mga 3 years yata ako sa Microsoft.
3 years, okay.
Matagal din.
From there naman, si Apple.
Yan. Parang... ito very mysterious ang Apple dito sa Philippines.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Dep, pwede mo ikwento sa amin kung bakit napaka-mysterious ng Apple at napaka-low profile nila pag nandito sila sa Pilipinas? Hindi alam ng mga tao na meron Apple sa Philippines.
Oo nga.
Even ako, when I got a call from Apple during the time, nagulat ako na may Apple Philippines pala. But it's another exciting company, and it's a different learning tool. And just like what you've said, very low-key, very simple company. You will not even think that it's Apple, di ba? Parang antahitahimik nila. In fact, just to share with you, let's say when we go to events, normally kasi pag vendor ka, di ba, yung treatment sa inyo, parang it's different. Pero in the case of Apple, talagang we want to be nasa sideline lang kami. We don't want to be like we don't want the limelight, in short. Yes. So that's really the culture. It's really but in the way we do things is we are quiet. It's really all about customer experience.
Let the products speak for itself, parang ganun
Ever since it, I think the last event ng Apple was naalala niyo yung parang lampshade na
yung parang sa yung parang
yung iMac na parang
movie? Ano yung parang sa movie?
Yes, yung Pixar.
Sa Pixar,
That was the last event. May PR pa nila si Lamayra Salvosa partners.
Correct.
Pa.
Tandaan ko yun. Nandun tayo nila Robbie Alampay.
Yes.
Sa sa yung Tower 1.
Early 2000. Early 2000s pa yun. Oo, Tower 1.
Oo. Tapos natanda ko pa nun si Wilson Flores, ang ating kaibigan si Wilson Flores. May tumawag sa kanya. Ang lakas sa telepono. Lahat ng tao nagulantang Ano yun? Parang ganun. At naalala ko.
Yung columnist ng kaibigan natin, Wilson Flores.
Pero after that,
wala na.
Wala na
Even nga, hindi ako makapaniwala na si Depp ang country manager. Kasi
si Jerry Lacson. Alam mo si Jerry Lacson also joined Apple.
Yeah.
Samsung.
So, Jerry was part of my team during that time. So,
Okay.
Jerry was ahead of me. Tapos when I joined, nag-abot kami ni Jerry.
Okay. Where is Jerry now?
Jerry is, I think nasa isang local company. Pero he left Apple.
He left already Apple. Incidentally, Jing, the current country head or manager for Apple and Guam is a former Microsoft as well. Si Christian Lim. So,
yeah.
Former Chief Operations Officer ng Microsoft. Ngayon, siya ang parang country GM. So parang si Det from Microsoft, lumipat ng Apple. Ngayon.
Tapos same kami, during my time also, it's I manage Philippines and Guam. Although Guam is...
Pati Guam.
Kasama yung Guam.
Ano minamanage nyo? Nung nandito kayo, Det, yung Apple, ano minamanage mo dun sa Apple?
Malaki siya ha, kasi we have, of course, iPhone, yung iPad business, yung Mac business, tapos ang group dito kasi, wala kaming marketing dito, but it's really more of a channels and sales organization plus training. So yun yung malaking group. So we do a lot of training. Go ahead.
Parang you were in charge of yung parang kunyari, making sure the Apple brand being carried by Power Mac, by other Apple resellers is being well taken.
Actually, yung connection talaga ng Apple, Globe and Smart, yan talaga yung most important connection ng Apple, yung dalawang telco.
That's correct. Yung dahil sa iPhone, no?
Yung partnership sa telco company, it's very big.
Hindi, pati rin Jing yung pati yung, of course, yung mga distributors for mga MacBooks, di ba?
Yeah.
Mga, yung earphones, yung, ano ba yung tawag lang ngayon?
AirPods, yes.
Malaki rin kasi yung accessory business ni Apple.
Yes, accessory business. No? Tapos may mga mga licensed accessories, di ba? Binabantayan din ba yan ng Apple? Pero anyway, di ba, yun nakakapag tama nga yung ginamit ng word ni Melvin, mysterious no? Yung Apple.
Okay, after Apple, Death,
ito na.
I went to IBM. So there are two companies binalikan ko. So
talaga? Ano ba ang IBM?
After Apple, nag-IBM ako. Na-miss ko yung kasi Apple is more into consumer. So parang hinanap yung medyo, matagal din kasi ako sa Apple, almost 5 years So parang na-miss ko.
Wow.
Tahimik
So tahimik ng part na yun nung sa Apple.
Yeah. Ganun talaga kasi yung operation. And I'm sure, even now, di ba, they're really quiet. Pero I'm sure, kilala nyo kasi ako, so alam nyo na I love making events or yung mga press events na companies I've been to. But in Apple, hindi ko talaga siya nagawa. Kasi that's really how we operate. And then, so nung bumalik ako sa IBM, yun nga, kasi parang nakakamiss din yung enterprise business. And I've been doing that for many years. So I stayed there. Pero yun, yung sa IBM, medyo maiksi na yon, parang mga a little over a year lang yata or mga 1 year lang yata yung pagbalik sa IBM. Kasi ang kasunod na is Google.
Anong role mo doon what role did you take up in IBM second time around?
So ako yung nag-head ng server business.
Server business.
Oh, okay. So, and then after 1 year at IBM, Google na ba?
Google na.
Were you headhunted?
You're talking of sa Google or
sa Google.
Somebody called me. Parang may nagbigay yata ng name ko.
Hindi nito ni Det Jing, no?
Lahat
blue chip companies, no?
Walang small time company from the start. Wala talaga.
Siemens.
Hindi,
pala, MSI.
Tapos
Siemens, MSI, HP,
IBM,
Apple, Microsoft, IBM, Google. Grabe.
Elite.
I count that as blessings.
Doon natin makikita yung galing. Kasi doon sa company ng mga nahawakan niya at nadaanan niya. Kasi hindi ka naman pwedeng wala kang alam lang, tapos nadaanan mo lahat yung mga big time. Syempre, yung pinaka-exciting kasi isa na to sa pinaka-exciting companies ngayon. Syempre, Apple, napaka-exciting ako. Ako, Apple user ako eh. So syempre, excited ako. Pero ito ngayon, ang the-in company. Dalawa lang naman niya, sinasabi ko nga, isa social media company. Pero ito na yun. Parang, para sa akin, parang ano na to eh. Highlight na talaga siguro ito ng buhay mo pag napunta ka dito, di ba?
Parang lahat ng mga tao gusto magtrabaho for this company.
Ito, may kwento lang ako. Sabi, nung one time kasi, may nakuha akong press release na galing ko sa office sa Manila Times. Tapos may press release, tapos may letterhead ng Google Philippines doon sa
pinakagawan.
Nandun lang sa folder. Tapos nung sumakay yung elevator sa amin, hindi ko napansin na nakalabas pala. Alam mo, tanong sa akin, tinanong ako 2 tao sa elevator, sabi niya, may Google Philippines pala. Doon ka ba nagtatrabaho? Sabi ko, hindi, ano lang to, sabi ko, ano lang to sa files ko. Ay, sayang, kasi gusto namin talaga dyan magtrabaho. Yung kagad ang una na sinabi, kung may hiring, yung talagang image ng yun talaga image nitong company na to. Na ngayon, pinamunuan ni Depp.
Ito, Jing, nung binuksan yung Google Philippines office a few years ago, I covered it. Tapos, we were instructed not to say the actual location of the office. So, pinost ko yung mga photos. Grabe, pinutakti ako yung Facebook page ng Newsbytes. Tapos yung hits ng ng story, sobrang taas.
Yes, even yung announcement ng hiring sa interaction, ang daming hits doon. Grabe, naka 60 plus thousand hits kami noon sa interaction nung time na yon. Nung one day, in one day,
Ganun ka-strong yung brand.
Ganun ka-strong yung brand. And now, it's a woman and it's our friend, Bernadette Nacario. I'm proud na maging 1 degree of separation.
Parang gusto mo mag-apply
Hindi, proud lang tayo. Yes, proud lang tayo na may kakilala tayo dyan. Kasi remember, Melvin, nagpunta pa tayo sa Googleplex.
Oo. View.
Saya-saya natin doon, di ba?
Namili tayo.
Shopping pa tayo doon, di ba? Okay, sige. Pakwento natin kay Depp. Google experience.
How's it like working for Google?
Oh, it's so different. And just like what I said kanina, I'm so thankful for all the other companies that I've been part of. Iba-iba yung learnings ko sa kanila. Google is a different company altogether. And culture, we've been hearing, di ba, parang one of the most admired companies, known for its culture, very people-centric. When we talk of helpfulness, talagang ibang level yung helpfulness namin. And when I talk about helpfulness internally and externally. And then while being very helpful, of course we promote high performance too. We want to make sure everyone drives an amazing work. We have very good values. It talks about respecting the user, respecting the opportunity, respecting each other. But at the same time, we're all googly. Narinig niyo ba yung word na we're all googly? So googly is a combination of many things. It's cool, it's agile, we're all very flexible and happy. It's a happy place. I love the way we really focus on people. We are a very people-centric company. Kaya ang strong ng culture namin. But at the same time, when I think of the initiatives that we're doing to help the community, it's just so amazing, and I'm really proud to be part of this company.
Can you share us those initiatives na especially you're doing for the local market?
Yeah, so I'll give you some examples. Especially now, kasi diba, COVID tayo. So and one of the major issues now is economic recovery. So what we have is a program for MSMEs. So we have a partnership with DTI to train a number of MSMEs. Actually, as of now, parang mga nasa 30,000 na yata yung natitrain namin. And we are helping them online. So meron kaming what we call MSME Caravan. It's not just here in Manila, so it's nationwide. And the fact na ngayon, hindi naman kami makapunta doon sa mga locations na yon, so we're doing it virtually. And we've been very aggressive. In fact, our target for this year is really to train many more thousands of MSMEs, and we really want to help them recover their business by being present online. So that's just one of the many initiatives. And then when I think of during COVID, marami kaming mga nagawa during that time. First is yung, other than yung digitize natin yung mga small businesses, education. So we've shared some of our initiatives around distance learning. So meron kami dineploy 22 million accounts this week for education. And now we call it Google Workspace for Education. So that's for public school students. And then we train thousands of teachers as well. Kasi di ba, everybody naman doing online learning. So we're training teachers as well. So that's just some of the many things that we are doing to help education, to help small businesses recover especially during this period.
That's how many people do you? Oh yes, go ahead.
I don't know if you've heard also of Digiscarting Pinay. Have you heard of that? We recently launched Digiscarting.
Did you share it with
us? So it's a program of Google that wherein we are using our YouTube to diversify the skill set of women and then helping them translate this into livelihood opportunities. So marami yan, di ba? Parang sinasabi nga ilag, YouTube is a university. Di ba yun yung tawag nga nila? Kasi maraming mga, kaya Digiscarting Pinay kasi it started really for women. And then what's happening is when they watch YouTube, natututo sila magluto, tapos mag-start sila ng business nila. And then because of that, nagkakaroon sila ng livelihood, ng income.
Dami nga magluto ng gumawa ng sushi bake.
Oo. May mga stories na natuto silang magtayo ng yung mga Brazilian blowout or maggawa ng fishball sauce. Yung mga simple people. But because of what in YouTube, nagkaroon sila ng livelihood. Napaka-inspiring ng mga ganun stories, di ba?
That's true. Especially now, yung mga panahon na to.
That how many people do you have in Google Philippines?
We're close to 100 people here in Google Philippines.
And how many of
our? Yeah, go ahead.
And how many of them are Filipinos?
How many of us are Filipinos? I think majority naman Filipinos.
Majority Filipinos. Okay.
Sama dyan si Beth Pangan, yung kaibigan natin. Kaibigan ko. Also from IBM and NEC before.
First of all.
And Attorney Yves Gonzalez, the policy head.
Yes.
And of course, Mervin Wenke, the communications lead, right?
Yes.
Kaibigan natin yan, si Mervin.
Oo nga.
Who else? Sino ba ito? May man. Yung asawa ni Chai.
Si Ferdy Saputil.
Ferdy,
yes.
Yes.
Chai is with Facebook naman. Chai is still with Facebook.
From Microsoft yun.
Ferdy is the one heading our cloud business.
Yes. Google Cloud. Okay. You were talking about culture, no? Karamihan ng lahat ng pinasok mo are American companies. So, kahit sa kanila, iba-iba rin ang culture pagdating sa business. Especially, alam ko kasi the Silicon Valley culture, ibang-iba from syempre the old IBM, di ba, culture. Anong difference na nakita mo malaki? Tapos ngayon, yung sa Philippine scenario naman.
Iba talaga yung culture ng bawat companies, no? But one thing is, I would say, common denominator for most of these companies, because majority of them are American companies, except Siemens, no? It's more on the driving diversity. Ito yung one of the good things about the multinational in general, no. So the effort to promote diversity, equity, and although I can proudly say that in Google we have a lot of programs and initiatives internally to make sure that that is really being practiced. So meron kami talaga mga programs that promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yan, kasama sa measure namin. So gender equality, it's one thing that we make sure it should not be an issue within Google, as well as racism, pag yung mga topics na ganyan. So it's really a conscious effort to to make sure that it is adhered to by almost all of the employees. So we really promote it.
Yan napansin ko rin sa mga tech companies, mga Silicon Valley companies, they're very open to everything. Pero ikaw, Dep, in the Philippines ba, nagkaroon ka rin ng problema as a woman in an IT world? Noong time na yun, early years?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, Jing. I always hear that, no? Parang sinasabi na, in a male-dominated industry, did you ever experience challenges, no? Parang to lead an industry na dominated na ng male. Fortunately, I would say, I have not really experienced any major setback na parang natakot ka kasi babae ka and then you will be leading this company, you're working with a lot of male, no? Although I have to admit, there were times in the past, especially during my younger years, when I will attend regional meetings, no? Let's say Singapore or other countries. Pagpasok mo ng boardroom, ikaw lang yung babae. Ikaw lang yung babae na country manager. So minsan nakaka-over. But because of the culture of promoting diversity, it was never an issue. And in case, let's say merong mga konting ganong situation, I mean, all these years, I never considered that as a challenge or a difficulty because I always use that as an opportunity to reflect, understand ano ba yung kulang, how can I hone my skills, how can I be a better leader. So lagi ako nagpo-focus dun eh. Parang instead of like thinking, naku, paano ko ba i-survive tong organization na to? No? Kasi for me, my definition of success is gender agnostic. Success is all about your mindset, your vision, having the right vision and having the right purpose, your commitment to excellence, diba, and your passion to contribute. So that's my definition of success. It has nothing to do with gender.
Wow, very well said. Yeah.
Hindi ako na-disturb kahit na nandun ako sa isang male-dominated industry.
Pero ito lang nga po, isa pa napansin, no, yung mga experiences din natin abroad with tech companies. Parang feeling ko mas open din ng Philippines when it comes to gender diversity. Kesa compared to other Asian countries, mas mas acceptable sa atin. Yung iba-ibang talaga. Even religion, mas maluwag tayo kesa sa ibang country.
That's very true. In fact, if we think of yung marami tayong IT companies na nag-leadan mga babae, di ba? Not just now, but before. So,
Philippines,
you're right. Marami siya. And that's good. That's a very good sign na
that's
open yung country.
Yes.
What's your vision or strategy going forward for Google Philippines? What do you want to accomplish at Google?
So other than, of course, growing the business, I think that's a given, diba? So making sure that we are relevant, we know that we are contributing to the country, we're helping in nation building. And I go back to our culture of helpfulness. And ito nga siguro, I don't know if it comes with age, pero more than just like looking, when I define success now, success is not just about becoming successful, no? Parang it's more of it's about significance. So what is it that you can add value on? What is it that you can contribute? Success is not about the title. It's not about the prestige of being part of this organization or having an attractive compensation package. No, for me, that's not my definition of success. My definition of success is how can you add value to your team, to your organization, to the business, to the community, to the Filipino people, di ba? Yun yung ang sarap isipin when you sleep at night. What is it that I have done? And I'm so happy and I'm so proud because in Google, that's something that we encourage. In fact, we really attract a lot of our we encourage a lot of our employees to participate in volunteering activities so that we can really help. Kagaya ngayon, yung sinabi ko sa inyo, yung effort namin to help MSMEs. Some of the people training these MSMEs are our own employees. So other than their day jobs, tumutulong sila para mag-train. So when I think, just going back to your question, Melvin, so other than, of course, growing the business, establishing a solid footprint here in the country, but we want to make sure that we really have a good contribution and we can really help Philippines in terms of nation building, especially during this time wherein a lot of people needs a lot of help. So how can our platform, how can our technology, our products and services be able to use to help all these people who are in
Wow.
different sectors?
Yeah. Considering the reach, the power of Google, talagang, you know, it's great to hear that, you know, yung may purpose ng ng company na yung nilay down niya yung purpose ng company, no, kasi with so much power comes great
responsibility. Yes. And there's no doubt Google is one powerful company when it comes to the internet and digitalization. Talagang wow.
Sure. One of the things I learned during this pandemic, you know, in order to survive, this is not all about having a good plan. Kasi kung plan-driven ka, pag may nangyaring crisis, that plan can change overnight.
Yep.
Hindi mo na pwedeng implement yung plan. But when you are purpose-driven, kung clear sa inyo kung ano yung purpose ng organization, regardless of the situation, hindi ka matitinag Hindi siya mababago kasi you just focus on, you go back to your purpose and you do it. So it has nothing to do with plan, di ba? Yung plan mawawala Kasi anytime nangyari, pwedeng kailangan baguhin mo yun Pero your purpose will not change. So if you focus on your purpose, then you are assured that you can continue whatever it is that you're doing, and you continue to be helpful. And I'm so happy when I think of the purpose of Google. It's really about helpfulness.
Wow, that's very well said. That siguro last question lang for me is that 5 or 10 years down the road, where do you see yourself then?
Miss Universe question.
Mas malaki pa ba sa Google? Papasukan?
No. I'm very happy. Ayoko naman sabihin na dito na ako magre-retire, pero I'm very happy.
Baka Mars na ano mo next step mo sa Mars. Mala Elon Musk na.
Hindi, ang focus ko ngayon talaga is more of how can we really maximize the platform that we have in order for, kasi just like what you've said, when the brand is big, there's responsibility that goes with it, diba? So sa akin is how can we maximize that? What is it that we have to do so that when people think of Google, they know that they can really rely on the brand. It's a brand that they know can really help them, can really change lives, can really change the nation. So more of that. Yun yung focus ko. Hindi ko pa iniisip, 1 year pa lang ako 1 year and a little over 1 year. Parang 1 year and a half. 1.5 years pa lang ako sa Google. So hindi ko pa naiisip 5 years from now kasi I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I'm very happy where I am.
Okay, Jing, siguro last question for you. Kung meron ka
let's give the floor to our country director of Google Philippines. Kasi sa atin, yes.
Kung meron pa siyang message.
Last words, message for the people out there na especially dreaming of joining the company.
Yeah, and siguro share ko lang as a woman leader, some of my learnings or siguro my own leadership principles. First is just like what I've said earlier. I never see gender as an issue to become successful. Ulitin ko yun kasi for me that has always been my belief. Success happens when you have the right mindset, when you have a clear vision, when you have a purpose, and when you have the passion and commitment to excel and to add value. It is okay to have an ambition, but never ever compromise your values and your relationship because it will not make you happy. And then third is self-awareness is key because it helps you understand your key attributes and the value that it can bring to the business and the team. Just like what I have said earlier, may mga difficulties, hindi naman yan bed of roses, di ba? In the many companies that I've been to. But you always treat each challenge as an opportunity to learn, to hone your skills, and then to reflect on what needs to be done and be a better version of yourself. Last two things, women have unique qualities that lands well in leadership. I'm talking about empathy, resilience, multitasking, caring for people, attention to details. We don't, as women leaders, we don't need to operate like men. Kasi if we focus on the special attributes of women, actually, we make a difference. And lastly, just like what I've said, my definition of success is not about the job title or compensation package or even the prestige, but it's really about the value that you can give. It's your contribution to people, to the organization, to the community. So I promote life of significance instead of life of success. That's it.
Wow.
That's what
Beautiful. Galing,
Jing,
ganda.
tanda mo yun. Life of significance rather than life of success.
Yes.
Yan.
Beautiful.
Purpose-driven life.
Yes.
Diba?
Isa lang to sa pinakamaganda nating episode.
Correct. Tama ka dyan. Okay.
daming inspiring words from the Philippine country director of Google Philippines.
Thank you. And again, thank you for inviting me. I'll invite you to Google's office when this pandemic is over.
Yes.
Tatry natin yung aming free day.
Of course, thank you rin. Thank you rin for gracing our show tonight. Talagang we're proud of you, Dep. Sa tagal natin magkasama. Ako hindi ko naisip na wow, dito ka pala mapupunta talaga. Sa isa sa pinakamalaking company sa buong mundo. Araw-araw nakikita namin.
Actually, lahat naman ng pinuntahan nyo malalaki talaga eh.
Pero ito na yun eh. Kasi araw-araw yan na nakikita ko sa desktop ko, Google.
Oo nga.
Gabi, brand na yan.
Let me also take this opportunity.
Yes.
Let me also take this opportunity kasi I also want to thank you both kasi during my, yung career ko sa IT, kasama ko kayo. Especially when I was just starting. So salamat sa suporta. Especially yung mga times na gumagawa ako ng mga press events and you've always been there to support me. So salamat. Baka hindi ako nakapagpasalamat ng madami back then.
Well, you're welcome.
I'm taking this opportunity. You're part of my journey. You're part of my IT journey. So salamat. Salamat talaga.
Okay. Salamat din, Det. And thank you for gracing our show. And this is one of our best episodes so far. Maraming salamat. And we give tribute to your achievements and contributions to the local ICT industry.
And more success in the future.
And more success for you.
Yes.
Okay,
thank you. Miss Bernadette Nacario. Yes, sige. Shout out.
Si Julie Tanaka, si Ronan Prudencio is watching. Si Carlos Samson, of course, ang ating kaibigan. Si Dagohoy. Si Maris Manzano, sabi niya, very nice, Ate Det. Siguro, kamag-anak ni Det. Si Alvin Pingol. Yan. Okay, maraming salamat for tuning in, everyone. And thank you very much for participating as well. Maraming salamat.
Yes.
Kita-kita po tayo ulit next week. April na, no? Tama ba? April na next week? Hindi pa.
Meron pa tayo sa in-between.
Isa pa pala.
Isa pa tayo next week.
Pero Holy Week na no?
Yes, malapit na.
Okay, maraming salamat, Jing and Det. Jing, take it away.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Miss Bernadette Nacario, Country Director of Google Philippines. Napaka-inspiring po lahat ng sinabi niya. Nako, tama po yung sinabi rin ni Attorney. Isa na to sa pinakamagandang episode namin this year. Okay. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan, TechSabado sa darating na Saturday, 8 p.m. din po. Like at i-follow niyo po ang aming mga social media pages sa facebook.com/TechSabado at saka facebook.com/Newsbytes.PH. Nasa Twitter din kami at TechSabado at saka syempre at Newsbytes.PH. Sa mga nanonood sa TechSabado sa aming YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up at kung nagustuhan niyo po ang aming programa, click niyo lang po ang subscribe button sa baba para na rin kayo ma-notify kung may mga bagong video sa aming YouTube channel. Pag click nyo rin ang notification bell. Of course, ang aming website, TechSabado.com at saka Newsbytes.PH. Remind ko lang ang mga viewers namin kung gusto niyo po suportahan ng TechSabado at saka INBETWEEN. May link po kami sa aming comment section dito sa Facebook at saka syempre sa aming YouTube channel. And don't forget, ito pong inspiring show na ginawa namin tonight ay available sa Spotify this Friday as a podcast. Yan po. Maraming salamat PLDT Smart Group Corporate Communications Team for their continued support, lalo na sa ating mga kaibigan, si Miss Cathy Yang, Althea, Eli, Monet, Wo, at sila Kate. Of course, thank you sa MSI Laptops Philippines, AMD, for the support on our tech news website, TechSabado.com. Kasama na rin siyempre ang VST ECS led by Mr. Jimmy Go. XSplit for the support on our weekly streaming. Thank you rin. Don't forget, TechSabado sa Saturday. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan. And also, in between next Wednesday, 8 p.m. din po yan. Okay, wear a mask, stay home, stay safe. Huwag pong lalabas dahil naka-lockdown po tayo ngayon. Maraming salamat po. Diyan na po, nagpapaalam na po kami ni Atty. Melvin Kalimag ng Newsbytes.PH, Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com. Good evening and stay alive. Yun ang importante sa lahat. Thank you.